it's my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids that are going to be left to deal with an Oregon that looks a lot different than the ones that you and I know and love.
Thank you so much, Representative Peterson. Next, we're going to hear from Senator Edwards, the champion of the Healthy Climate Bill and one of the co-sponsors in the Senate. He also chairs the Senate Committee on the Environment and Natural Resources. Let's get a huge round of applause for Senator Edwards.
Thank you, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to be here a little bit sooner. We had a caucus meeting that ran late. There's a lot to deal with. There's a lot to deal with this legislative session, and climate is at the top. At the top. You all are here because you know that it's time to act on climate change. I am here because I know that it is time to act on climate change. The American public and Oregonians get it too. First, the opponents. Tried to argue that climate change wasn't real. And I think we've prevailed. Then they tried to argue that certainly if it is real, human activity, human beings must have nothing to do with it. And I think that we've prevailed on that argument as well. Folks are now writing to me and saying, well, we're not going to argue that climate change is real, and we're not going to argue about whether or not humans contribute to it, but maybe it's a good thing. Maybe we could feed the world by growing wheat where it was previously permafrost. I am not kidding you. I have received these emails in the last couple of days. And the corporate interests that are fighting our efforts to fight climate change are coming into my office and saying, well, we don't think that we should be doing it in Oregon. We ought to have a federal solution. To which I have said, then I will assume that you're lobbying Congress to take action. And they look at me like a deer in headlights saying, and they start to stammer. And I say, exactly. Exactly. You're not doing anything at the federal level. You're fighting us there. You're fighting us locally. But the time is now because Americans get it, Oregonians really get it, and we have the opportunity in front of us this legislative session to put us on a path to real carbon reductions here in the state of Oregon and to lead by example. Yeah. And now I think we're going to hear from somebody else that's been leading by example on this for years. Representative Buckley.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Representative Peter Buckley from Ashland, Oregon, and I have got an attitude of gratitude. I am extremely grateful for the leadership of Senator Chris Edwards and Senator Lee Byer for moving this bill forward in the Senate. They've done incredible work on the Healthy Climate Bill. Please give Chris a huge hand. Huge round of applause. I'm grateful for the leadership of Representative Jessica Vega-Peterson, Representative Phil Barnhart from Eugene, Representative Paul Hovey from Eugene, for also being champions of the Healthy Climate Bill. But I mostly got that attitude of gratitude for you. Yep. You are standing here in the rain. You are here to lobby for this bill in your state capital, and the reason is because you know that this is the moral issue of our time.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. We've got champions in the House, we've got champions in the Senate, and we've got leaders on the ground. With that, I would like to call up Reverend Karen Caldwell from Medford United Church of Christ, Joel Eboa with Beyond Toxics, and Rob Sisk with SEIU Local 503.
Let's have a Golden Rule 2.0, which says not only that we treat others as we want to be treated, but we treat the next generation as we want to be treated, that we treat all of the generations going forward as we would like to be treated, that we treat all of the life forms on this planet as we would like to be treated.
there are industries that would tout themselves as clean energy, and we know better. So on the road forward, I ask all of you to be vigilant and vigilant in making sure that this bill provides the benefits to communities, prevents harms, further harms to communities, and it also is inclusive and transparent both in the design and implementation. We can do this. We will do this. Thank you.
So I salute our champions in the legislature who are doing this, and I also want to say that as a union, it is imperative for us to make sure that the jobs that come from transition to clean manufacturing, clean fuels, and a sustainable economy are also family wage paying jobs that create a just economy for all, that is safe for the environment, and that sustains humankind instead of taking it down the drain.
I'm with the American Lung Association, and we care about our air. We like to say, if you can't breathe, nothing else matters.
It's going to end, if we keep going the way we are now, it will be a world of ecosystem collapse. A world where 1 in 6 species of plants and animals in the storybooks will be extinct. There are people right now wondering whether or not to have children because they will grow up in a violently changing world and experience mass migration, starvation, and resource wars that are due to climate change. Late last year, I and 21 other youths, many from Oregon, sued the federal government of the United States to demand that they take the necessary action to stop climate change. We, through a team of lawyers at Our Children's Trust in Eugene, are having to fight for our right to a healthy future in court because our legislation has failed to act decisively. I believe initiatives like the Healthy Climate Bill can change this view. If any state government has the power and the incentive to act on climate change, it is Oregon. Our founders were pioneers, explorers, farmers, people who took risks and accepted hardships so that their families and their children might have a future. Our jobs, timber, fishing, tourism, they all depend on the sea. They depend on the land, on the forests. They depend on a stable climate. And the young people of Oregon are ready to work hard to protect that climate. And we are looking to our government to do their part by promoting responsible and renewable energy production. If our legislation cannot pass this bill, which limits climate pollution and invests in our future, they will have to look me, along with every youth and child in Oregon, in the eye and explain why they weighed our lives against special industry interests. I want to close today with a message for individuals as well, because these laws, our government, these bills, they are only as effective and strong as the hearts and the minds and the spirits of the people who fight for them and vote for them. Thank you.
In just a few minutes, we're going to march around the Capitol, but first we're going to have a quick musical interlude with cross-current music.
We want clean air now, keep the oil in the ground, get up! Get down! want to see. We